Greetings, Sidekicks. This is Captain Comic, and welcome back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. Now, where we last left off, we beat the shit out of Surtur and almost bit it. So, that's where we are now. And now we're going to Asgard, where I'm assuming the Red Skull has taken command. As you can see, there's some lovely Hydra banners over there. I hate it when people keep associating the Red Skull with Hydra, because they did retcon like a little bit of it in the comics to where he's kind of related to it, but even then, like, the relation is very loose, like, because what they say is basically what they say is he kind of just ordered Baron Strucker to found Hydra, and then was like look, I'm just gonna take command now that you've done all the hard work for me. Oh, sugar, those can knock me out of the sky. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is not good. Man, too many missiles. Just keep jumping, just keep jumping, just keep jumping. Anyway, so Red Skull was like, look, Hitler's an idiot, Nazi Germany's totally coming down, so, hey, Baron Strucker, why don't you, go down to Japan and found, like, kind of like a Fourth Reich, like, super advanced guys.
There's a new king in town, Blondie, and we have direct orders to make you kneel.
Oh yeah, Hydra, terrorists seeking multi-world domination, jerks. So, interesting, they say multi-world domination, implying, like that, implying that they are still going after the dimension thing. Anyway, so Baron Strucker's like, yeah, I'll do that, and then just got the hell out of Dodge, and basically said, forget the Red Skull, I'm the leader of Hydra, because I did all the work, and founds it in Japan, and sets up like a new world order. And they're like, look, we're not doing the racism thing, and the anti-Jews thing didn't work, but the world domination thing, I do like that. So they kept that. They got rid of all that. It's like there are black Hydra agents, female Hydra agents, because they got rid of the whole. They got rid of what you might call the worst parts of the Nazis, until you realize they are still murderous terrorists when you take all that away. So that is a problem. But I've had a lot of leaders over the years, and nowadays they have like multiple cells that are each have a different leader. One of them is Gorgon, who's a mutant most known for fighting Wolverine, no relation to the Inhuman of the same name. And yep, and yeah, he's brought out. Yep, so I've heard. But anyway, and then Madam Hydra and Baron Strucker kind of go back and forth between leading another cell. Sometimes Baron Zemo's involved, but like he was just a Nazi. He was also a Nazi scientist, but he has never really had that much involvement with Hydra, so it's just kind of often thrown to the wayside. What? Now what are we supposed to do here? Here we go. Yep. Yep. So he's just like, let's admire my homeland while it's being torn apart. Although granted, these are just normal Hydra human agents, presumably anyways. It's hard to tell considering they're able to stand up to multiple punches from Thor. Another thing, what sucks about designing a Marvel game is that you can never have full accuracy, because like realistically, Captain America should be able to take each of these guys out with one punch, but then you lose all your gameplay, and you lose the point of the gameplay and like none of the challenge. So they do kind of have to make it unrealistic. So, like, I've been playing Marvel Strike Force, for instance, and they've done a decent job of balancing all the characters. But what's funny is that like the Punisher can kill the Hulk with like a shotgun, and it's just the most hilarious thing you've ever heard. But like still, like just imagine the Hulk getting taken out by a guy with like a pistol. Or whatever, just a guy with a pistol. Granted, this is the Punisher, like, I mean, he is very well trained, but even he probably would admit, yeah, no, he can't beat the Hulk. It's just, it's a weird mix-up. Yeah, Hydra, so basically each cell's led by a different leader, and like, they have like annual meetings where they're like, okay, how's your cell doing? How's your cell doing? How's everyone doing? But I mean, like, with constant veiled threats towards each other of, I am going to take over your cell, and so like they're constantly, it's full of veiled threats of like, hey, we're Like, I mean, we're friends for now, but I will kill you eventually and steal your henchmen. So, is it just me, or does that look kind of like, that, Asgardian logo on there look kind of familiar? It kind of reminds me of some kind of video game company. I don't know which one. It kind of looks like EA if you squint. If you really squint, and I mean really squint. I don't know, maybe my eyesight's just going bad. In all seriousness, though, like, that would suck. Well, I mean, like, it'd be like Daredevil. But, no. But Hydra is, again, they're another interesting organization in that they're run like a business. They have kind of board meetings. They have, like, tryouts and, like, try to recruit people. It's a lot of... The Serpent Society is probably the greatest example because they're essentially a union for only snake-themed supervillains. So, like, if one of them commits a crime, they can call in the other ones for help, or, like, call on support from the union's lawyers, or even, like, but if they call in for help, they have to give the other members, like, a cut of the payment. And so, like, they all have steady paychecks and everything, which, like, they've got a nice racket going on for themselves because they're doing something that most supervillains don't do, which is they're planning ahead. They're going like, I'm going to put this in savings, or like, oh, my paycheck, I get my paycheck at the end of the month, so I'm going to buy this and this. And like, they're real clever guys. And they all spun out of the existence of Cobra, who was this German guy named Klaus Voorhees, who was literally bitten by a radioactive cobra. I kid you not, and basically just gained the ability to be pretty bendy, and he can slightly poison you if he bites you. And what does he decide to do with his slight bendiness? Oh, he decides to fight Thor several times. Eventually he teams up with Mr. Hyde, who like can't actually match Thor's strength. And he's like, look, brains and brawn, that'll work. And he betrayed Mr. Hyde once and like now fears for his life. And he's like, you know what? It was never a good idea going along with Mr. Hyde, so I'm just gonna kind of give up, because I mean, like, Klaus was never like a killer. He was more of like he wanted money and like power and stuff. And so teaming up with Mr. Hyde, initially thought Mr. Hyde was just like him, another supervillain. Turns out Mr. Hyde is downright murderous most of the time and has like serious rage issues and all this. So he quits, and a couple other snake-themed villains kind of form up and stuff. And eventually Cobra's like, hey, there's a lot of snake people, and they're not completely insane like Mr. Hyde, so why don't we join up and kind of like do the jobs we couldn't do alone, kind of like the Avengers, but for snake people. And so he forms like a few of them. He gets like Black Mamba and Cottonmouth and Death Adder and all these guys. And he decides we're gonna form our union. And they started like being like assassins for hire and doing all this stuff. And oh, is that where I'm supposed to go? Okay, seriously, where am I supposed to go? Find an alternate palace entrance. Oh, yeah. How about we go this way? Okay, so we go this way. Ooh, hey, a box. Cool. I like it. I want it. But yeah, so, and he also quit, trying to fight Thor, because that's dumb. It's like, no, we're not gonna fight anyone. We're not gonna go after we're not gonna go after superheroes. We're just going to, just go along with, whoever pays us the most. Like, we'll carry out assassinations here and there, a couple minor contracts, and, call it good. And that worked out for them for a while. Like, very few members of the Serpent Society ever get caught, because they're very clever, for one thing. They are, ironically, slippery. And just all this stuff. And it's very interesting, because, like, you rarely see villains like that these days that are, like, bordering on, like, not quite being villains. And also just kind of, yeah. What is this going to do? What did that do? Did I do anything? Oh! Yeah, how about that? That's a good place to go, maybe. I love the Serpent Society, though. If I ever get to write for Marvel, it's like one of my goals. I would really want to write a Serpent Society series, because they don't get nearly enough credit. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, here we go.
Then nothing
Checkpoint.
has changed in all these centuries.
Sentry. Sentry is another interesting character. Not the guy in the yellow suit with the cape. There was a guy called Century, like as in 100 years century, not like guard century. And he was a member of what was he a member of? He was a member of Forceworks, which is like kind of the short-lived replacement West Coast Avengers. And his whole thing was that like he was like the combined 100 spirits of like I believe some Native Americans that combined into one solid being and decided to fight against like the atrocities committed by like various terrorists and supervillains. And he was the only thing people know him from really is the Marvel, the Iron Man the Animated Series cartoon from the 90s, where he was like a constant supporting character. And anyways, he was a guy with a cape and an axe. He's got kind of like a Drax the Destroyer look to him, with like weirdly colored skin and the red markings around his eyes. And he had a magic axe that could like his powers were very undefined. Like he could do just about whatever the plot needed. Like it's like, oh, he can open portals to other dimensions, he can talk to the dead, etc. All this, and it was just interesting. He had kind of like he was the standard like a kind of wise wizard type figure. So like he's always like spouting off like proverbs that vaguely make sense, and like telling him, hey, you shouldn't do this, or oh, back in my... Well, not like... He doesn't go like, oh, back in my day, there was... But, like, you get the idea. Like, he is, like, kind of the wise wizard figure. He's pretty boring, actually, but I still kind of like him because, like, he's kind of obscure. Nobody really knows about him, and he had kind of a... Like, he had a bit of a role in the Marvel Universe, I guess you could say. Ooh. Fire barrels. Okay, here we go. What are these? These guys are strong, I swear. Man. Okay. There we go. Fire in a crowded theater. Okay.
This one's for freedom.
Okay, come on. There you go. Knock him out of the park. Oh yeah, I just noticed. Yeah, no, there are actual Asgardians in these cells. They looked empty originally. Okay. Come on. Come on. There we go. How do I get in there? Oh. How about... Oh, no, we open it this way. Okay. Asgardians have been freed. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna... Ooh. What did you give me? Purple ISO 8. Ooh, nice. Should we have been freeing those guys? You know what? I'm gonna go look up here and just make sure we freed everyone, because I don't want to miss out on any rewards or stuff. 'Cause much as I like this game, I don't want to have to go back and like do a huge search trying to figure out where stuff is. So we're gonna... These to you. You give me anything? Oh, yep. ISO 8. Oh, cool. So I actually get them as like allies to... That would explain why it was so difficult down here, because I didn't have my whole little mini army. This is cool, actually. Like, I like it when you're able to control, like, not exactly control, per se, but team up with, like, a large number of characters, because it really makes it feel like kind of like a cinematic kind of moment where, like, everyone joins up against the big bad and all that. Okay. So I love how Winter Soldier was earlier. He was like, oh yeah, I've dealt with the Red Skull before. Oh really? Then how come he's still alive? And there we go. I mean, to be fair, the guy never dies, I swear. Where are we supposed to go from here? Okay, nope. Nothing? Okay. I am thoroughly confused. Oh, how about the secret tunnel right here? Well, not so secret tunnel. Seems like you can tell there's a lot of movie inspiration taken from this. Like, this is where they would normally keep Loki, I'm assuming. Oh.
Don't suppose
Yep, there he is. He's in the prison cell.
If you let me out, I promise I shall behave.
We're gonna team up with him, I'm assuming.
This time.
this time. Yeah, I was waiting for this time. So nice emo nails, buddy. Okay, can we go anywhere? No, we just have to talk to him. Okay, fine.
I knew you would come around.
Yep. Why would we even think of releasing you? He planned it.
Naturally.
Oh no.
The crystals. I first witnessed their might in...
Yeah, they double trust you. I double trust them first. Okay, fine.
I've not been a very good brother, Thor. Let me change that.
Yeah. Lies. Lies and slander.
Are you kidding? You let Loki out of his cell? No way that traitor's walking free on our watch.
There we go. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, we do get to team up with him. That is nice. I'm really excited for the, mainly the Fantastic Four DLC for this game, because I really want to, well, I want to find out, for one, are there cutscenes? Is it like a full chapter we get for the Fantastic Four? Do we get new NPCs and all that? Because so far, all we know about the DLC packs is we get some new content, and we get 4 new characters with each one. That's all we know right now, and that's really not kind of good enough for me. Like, I would have loved to see at least some, like, indication of what the DLC is going to be about. I'm going to do just 2 ultimates. And there we go. Yep. Okay. How fortunate for you that I'm trying to be good today. Sounds like he's on a diet. Oh, I'm trying to be good today, but you know, almost pastries. Just can't not do that. Oh, that's a funny thought, actually. I do hate that, like, everyone's kind of made Loki, like, the good guy, like, in all these, like, fan art and stuff. They're like, oh, he's not such a bad guy. It's like, he's called himself the god of evil before. He's murdered quite a few people, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's just a mess. I may actually, I may stop about here, because, I don't know when I'm going to get another checkpoint, and I really don't want to miss out on it. So we are going to do some team upgrades, though. So Wolverine, it looks like, is always getting the short end of the stick. So we're going to give him a Cosmic Cube. Oh, yeah, Cosmic Cube. Ha. Where do we get an ultimate one? It's interesting. I'm curious. Let's see. What do we have any... oh, yeah, he has a lot of... We can fully upgrade that. Okay, so increased damage to stagger gauge. That's awesome. We're gonna, let's see, go back, swap to him. Okay, so everyone is gonna get at least 1 super duper attack. Ooh, adds shock element to ally attacks. That's nice. And Claw's Strike will now do increased damage to the stagger gauge. Oh, there we go. Yep, and that's that upgraded. And then I think we also have some lab upgrades. So we're going to go ahead and look at those. So Alliance Enhancement. Enhancement points and credits. Do we want to keep going with the immunity to ethereal attacks, or do we want to branch out to something else? I think we're going to try and finish this one, because if we finish it, we get a damage decrease kind of buff, as it were. So let's see. Yep, decreases damage. What do we want? What's a really good one to have? Decreased damage taken from fire. Yeah, I like that. We're gonna get some, because there are some fire troopers around here. Let's see. Oh, I can't get that one yet, so we're gonna get this one instead, and then we can get this one, and then we'll get decreases damage from burning by 1.0%. Okay, that's kind of dumb. Increases mastery by 100, though. That's pretty good. That'll enhance all of Thor's energy attacks. And then we're also gonna... do we have any really good ISO 8s that we can equip? Yeah, right there. What do we got? We got increased vitality ISO 8. Okay, so who has the worst health? 13702, 13702, 1445. Okay, yeah, no. So Wolverine has the worst vitality. So we're gonna give him a bit of an upgrade with some nice red ISO 8. See, there we go. Now he has the most vitality. So that's real nice. But anyway, this has been Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. If you liked it, click like. If you didn't, click dislike. And if you want more, click subscribe and ring the bell. This is Captain Comic, signing off. Bye-bye, guys.